When a woman begins to share her problems with you, don't jump to conclusions. She's not necessarily looking for solutions, nor is she offering you a direct path to her heart. This could very well be a test, a trap, or just her way of venting. The truth is, women don't just confide in anyone. However, that doesn't mean she sees you as a savior or a romantic interest. If you're thinking this is your chance to prove yourself, you've missed the mark. Trying to fix her issues might just land you in the nice guy category, someone who's respected but not often desired. As men, we're wired to solve problems, but women don't always approach things the same way. When she's venting, she may only be seeking emotional relief, not solutions. If you misinterpret this and try to rescue her, you risk becoming her emotional crutch rather than her partner. Let me clarify. Being the guy she turns to for venting about her ex or her bad day won't make her view you as strong. It'll make you appear safe. Safe doesn't create attraction. Safe doesn't fuel desire. Safe is the guy who sticks around while she chases after someone who knows how to balance empathy with boundaries. The key here is boundaries. When a woman opens up about her struggles, it's not necessarily a sign of affection. It's more likely her way of testing your strength. Can you listen without losing yourself? Can you empathize without overstepping? How you handle the situation will reveal your true qualities. This is your opportunity to display confidence, not desperation, strength, not submission. If you rush in to rescue her, you're signaling that you lack the confidence to lead your own life. And that's a surefire way to lose her respect. So before jumping in with your response, ask yourself, what does she really need from me right now? How you answer that question could change everything. Number 1. When a woman shares her problems with you, it's often a subtle test of your emotional strength. She may not admit this directly, but deep down, she's trying to gauge how much of her emotional burden you can manage without cracking or overreacting. Women are naturally attracted to men who maintain calm and control, especially in emotionally intense moments. If you respond with panic, desperation, or an overly eager desire to fix things, she may see you as lacking the composure she values in a partner. Think about it. As she shares her issues, she's watching how you react. Are you grounded, or do you get swept up in the emotional storm? Do you offer reassurance without trying to play the hero? Emotional strength isn't about solving her problems. It's about staying steady even when things get chaotic. If you can remain composed and show empathy without losing yourself, you'll pass the test. Imagine a situation where she's telling you how her boss yelled at her during a meeting, clearly upset. She's looking for a reaction. Most men, trying to be supportive, might jump in with something like, "That's awful. You should stand up to him. Want me to call HR for you?" While this may seem helpful, it signals that you're too eager to insert yourself into her problems. Instead, a man with emotional strength would stay calm and say, "That sounds like a tough situation. How are you feeling about it now?" This response does two things. It shows you're listening without trying to take control, and it refocuses the conversation on her emotions, not the problem itself. By staying composed and steady, you show that you can handle difficult emotions without being overwhelmed. This is incredibly attractive, as it demonstrates leadership, control, and security. Women want to feel emotionally safe around a man, and that safety comes from knowing you can weather their storms without sinking the ship. So the next time she tests you with her problems, remember, it's not about fixing them, it's about proving you can bear the weight without breaking. That's true emotional strength. Number 2. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman shares her problems is assuming she's looking for a solution. In reality, that's often not the case. More times than not, women talk about their issues to process their emotions, not because they want someone to swoop in and save the day. Jumping straight into fix-it mode can actually frustrate her, as it signals you're not truly listening to her feelings, but only focusing on solving something that might not even need fixing. Here's the key. When a woman opens up about her struggles, she's looking for connection, not correction. She wants to feel heard, validated, and understood. Offering solutions right away can seem dismissive, like you're trying to shut down the conversation. What she really needs is for you to hold space for her emotions, not to try and fix what's broken. For instance, let's say she confides in you. I've been so stressed lately because my coworker keeps piling their work onto me. A man who doesn't understand this dynamic might respond with something like, you should just tell them off, stand your ground. Problem solved. While this may seem logical, it misses the point entirely. What she hears is, you don't care about how I feel. You just want to brush this off and move on. Instead, try responding with empathy. That sounds exhausting. I can see why you'd feel overwhelmed. How are you managing all that? This approach shows understanding and gives her the space to express herself without trying to take control of the situation. It's a subtle but important shift. What a woman truly wants is a partner who can listen and emotionally support her, not a man who's constantly trying to fix her life. By resisting the urge to solve her problems, you communicate that you value her emotions and trust her ability to handle her own challenges. In truth, women are more attracted to men who can simply be there for them, offering support without trying to take over. So the next time she shares a problem, remind yourself, she's not asking for a solution. She just wants to feel that you care. That's how you earn her trust and respect. Number 3, when a woman shares her problems with you, it often signals that she sees you as a safe option. While this may sound like a compliment, it's not always a positive thing. Being safe doesn't necessarily mean she's attracted to you. It often means she views you as someone who won't judge her, challenge her, or disrupt her comfort zone. In other words, you're reliable, but you might not be sparking her passion. Women tend to open up to safe men because they know these men will listen without pushing back. You're the person she feels she can vent to without fear of rejection or misunderstanding. But here's the issue. This safety can box you into the role of a confidant or friend, not a romantic partner. Women are drawn to men who can balance stability with excitement. If you lean too far into being safe, you risk becoming predictable or even boring in her eyes. Think about it. How often have you seen a woman confide deeply in a man she's not romantically interested in, only to turn around and chase someone who doesn't offer the same emotional access? It's frustrating, but common. That's because being safe doesn't create attraction. It creates comfort. While comfort is important in a relationship, it's not the spark that ignites desire. This dynamic is even more evident when you realize that women often compartmentalize their emotions. She might unload her problems on you because she feels you're stable enough to handle them, but that doesn't mean she sees you as the man she wants to pursue. She knows you'll listen, but she may not see you as the type of guy who challenges her or keeps her intrigued. If you're the one she always runs to when she's upset, ask yourself why. Is it because she genuinely values your perspective, or because she knows you won't rock the boat? Women need emotional outlets, but that doesn't mean every man who listens is a potential partner. The harsh truth is, if she only sees you as safe, she might never see you as desirable. The key is balance. Show her that you can be dependable without sacrificing the edge and confidence that make you stand out. Number 4, when a woman shares her problems with you, there's a good chance she's subconsciously, or even consciously, comparing you to other men. This is where many men miss the bigger picture. She's not just opening up for the sake of it, she's testing how you measure up against the competition. Are you the man who listens and remains composed, or do you react impulsively, get too emotional, or try too hard to please? The reality is that women are always evaluating. It's part of their nature. When she talks about her struggles, she's watching how you behave, your mindset, and how you carry yourself under emotional pressure. If you're too eager to solve her problems or get too involved in her emotions, you're essentially giving her the ammunition to compare you to someone else, someone who may seem more confident or self-assured. Many men fall into this trap thinking that being overly available and supportive will set them apart. But how many times have you been there for a woman only for her to choose someone who seems to care less? That's because women aren't just looking for someone who's there, they're looking for someone who stands out. If you're the guy who constantly bends over backward to prove you're different, it's time to realize that you're playing into her comparisons, and not in a good way. Stop trying to outdo other men by being overly nice or overly involved in her problems. Instead, show her that you're in a league of your own. Stay grounded, maintain your standards, and don't overinvest in situations that aren't your responsibility to fix. Here's the advice. Focus on yourself. Build your confidence, pursue your purpose, and maintain your independence. Women will compare men. It's inevitable. But the man who wins is the one who doesn't even compete. He's too busy living his life, chasing his goals, and maintaining his emotional balance to get caught up in her tests. So if she's comparing you, let her. Just make sure that when the comparison is over, you're the man who stands out. Not because you tried harder, but because you stood taller. Number 5. When a woman shares her problems with you, she's often seeking validation, not solutions. This is where many men make mistakes. You might think you're being helpful by offering advice or jumping in to fix the issue, but what she truly needs is for you to listen and acknowledge her feelings. Validation is about connection, and if you overlook this, you risk coming across as out of touch or even dismissive. Women process emotions by expressing them, and when she opens up about her struggles, it's not because she wants you to fix them, but because she wants to feel understood. She needs to know that her emotions are valid and that you respect her perspective. Offering solutions too quickly can make her feel like you're minimizing her experience, even if that's not your intention. Here's where men need to be more aware. When you skip the validation and jump straight into problem-solving mode, you're showing that you don't really get it. She might smile and nod, but deep down, she'll feel disconnected from you. The worst part is that she might stop coming to you with her problems altogether and seek validation from someone else. Friends, colleagues, or even another man who understands this subtle but crucial dynamic. Instead of automatically going into fix-it mode, focus on being emotionally aware. When she talks about a tough day at work or a fight with her friend, resist the urge to suggest what she should do next. Instead, reflect her feelings back with responses like, "That sounds really frustrating," or "I can see why you'd feel that way." These simple responses show her that you're listening and that her emotions matter to you. This doesn't mean you should never offer advice, but it's important to know when it's appropriate. Validation should come first. Once she feels heard and understood, she may eventually ask for your input, but let her come to that conclusion on her own. Men who master this balance gain an edge. You become the man who doesn't just hear her words, but truly understands her emotions, and that's a rare quality. Women don't want a superhero to save them. They want someone who respects their journey and makes them feel valued along the way. So stop trying to solve every problem and start validating her experience. That's how you build trust, respect, and a deeper connection. Number 6, sometimes when a woman shares her problems with you, it's not a sign of romantic interest. It may be that she doesn't see you as an attractive partner, but as a safe, neutral space to vent. This can be a hard truth to accept, especially if you've been interpreting her openness as a sign of deeper feelings. If you find yourself always in the role of the listener, it's time to ask whether you're the man she confides in or the man she desires. Women naturally open up to those they feel comfortable with, but comfort doesn't necessarily mean attraction. If she's discussing her issues with you, particularly those involving other men, it could be her way of keeping you in the friend zone. She leans on you for emotional support because she trusts you'll always be there, but not because she views you as a romantic option. Recognizing the signs. One common trap men fall into is confusing emotional closeness with romantic interest. You might believe that her sharing personal struggles signifies a deeper connection, but if she's not giving you clear signals of attraction, such as flirting, physical touch, or prioritizing time alone with you, then it's likely you're fulfilling an emotional need, not a romantic one. For example, if she says, "I don't know why guys always seem to let me down. It's like no one understands me." You might interpret this as an opportunity to position yourself as the guy who truly gets her. However, consider her actions outside of these conversations. Is she actively making plans with you? Is she showing genuine interest beyond friendship? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate. Setting boundaries and moving forward. This realization isn't a reason to feel angry or used, it's a wake-up call. If you find yourself in this situation, you need to set boundaries and reassess your role in her life. Don't allow yourself to become an emotional crutch for someone who doesn't see your full value. Step back, focus on building your confidence, and channel your energy into your goals and self-improvement. A woman who is genuinely attracted to you won't use you solely as a sounding board for her problems. Instead, she'll actively seek out your company, invest in your time together, and treat you as someone she desires. By stepping back and focusing on your own worth, you leave room for connections that align with your value and mutual interest. Number 7. When a woman shares her concerns or emotional struggles with you, it might sometimes be a subtle way of steering the dynamic between you. On the surface, it appears to be a moment of vulnerability. She's opening up and placing trust in you. However, beneath that openness, there could be an underlying effort to shape the rhythm of your relationship or interaction. Without realizing it, you might find yourself stepping into a role she subtly defines. Here's how it unfolds. By voicing her challenges, she creates a scenario where you may feel compelled to respond, sympathize, and invest emotionally. Your reactions offer her valuable insights into your emotional patterns, how much you're willing to give, how you manage her expressions of vulnerability, and how easily her emotions can influence you. Whether consciously or instinctively, she uses these moments to test boundaries and assess your role in the emotional balance. If you consistently try to solve her problems or respond with excessive reassurance, you might be signaling that you're easily drawn into her emotional sphere. Over time, this can shift the relationship dynamic, granting her the upper hand emotionally while leaving you in a position of chasing unspoken expectations. For instance, if she frequently discusses feeling undervalued or overwhelmed, and you always jump in with solutions or endless reassurance, you show that her emotional world can easily dictate your actions. This may lead to an imbalance, where she feels more in control and you're left striving to meet her needs without reciprocation. This isn't to suggest you shouldn't care or express empathy. Instead, it's about discerning the difference between genuine sharing and moments that might subtly test the balance of control. A self-assured man listens, acknowledges emotions, but maintains a firm sense of self. He doesn't allow either person's emotions to overshadow the mutual respect and equality in the connection. The key lies in balance, showing compassion without losing your independence. When you remain grounded and emotionally steady, you cultivate respect and admiration. Women are naturally drawn to a partner who stands resolute, even amidst emotional challenges. Number 8. When a woman shares her concerns with you, it's crucial to understand that more often than not, she's not looking for a fix or a solution. Instead, she's expressing her emotions to find relief and clarity. This act of unloading helps her feel lighter, emotionally balanced, and better equipped to move forward. In moments like these, your role isn't to jump in with answers or resolutions, but to simply offer your presence and attention. Venting serves as an emotional release, a way for her to process stress, frustrations, and worries. By speaking her thoughts aloud, she's releasing the weight of those emotions, and what she truly seeks is someone who will listen without judgment or interruption. It's a common pitfall to believe that offering solutions will increase your value in her eyes. While your intentions may be good, acting as the fixer can unintentionally send the message that her feelings aren't valid on their own. By rushing to solve the problem, you might inadvertently take away her opportunity to feel understood and process her emotions naturally. This doesn't mean you shouldn't provide advice if she asks for it. The key lies in recognizing when she's seeking guidance versus when she simply needs a safe space to express herself. When she opens up, focus on being present. Listen with patience, validate her emotions, and let her know you're there for her without trying to take over the situation. By offering this emotional space, you allow her the freedom to work through her feelings on her terms. This approach not only helps her feel heard and supported, but also strengthens the connection between you. Sometimes it's not about stepping in to save the day, it's about being the calm presence she needs to feel understood and empowered to move forward. Number 9. When a woman opens up about her struggles, it's often a subtle way to gauge where she stands in your life. She might be unconsciously assessing whether you're willing to prioritize her above your own needs, comfort, and goals. It's not a calculated test, but a natural way to evaluate how much you value her and how far you're willing to go to accommodate her emotional needs. Many men fall into the trap of over-accommodating, constantly setting aside their own aspirations and boundaries to tend to her concerns. They believe that by doing so, they're proving their dedication or being the ideal partner. However, this approach can have unintended consequences. If you consistently drop everything for her, you establish a dynamic where her needs overshadow your own, signaling that your happiness and goals are secondary. Over time, this can erode your personal power and set a precedent that diminishes mutual respect. This doesn't mean you should disregard her feelings or act selfishly. It's about finding the right balance. Being supportive doesn't require sacrificing your own well-being or identity. If you always change your plans or put your life on hold, you risk losing the respect and admiration that come from being a self-assured individual with your own priorities. Women are naturally drawn to men who are purpose-driven, who have a life beyond the relationship, and who can confidently set boundaries. These qualities signal strength and independence, which are inherently attractive. Constant sacrifice, on the other hand, can lead to a dynamic where your availability is taken for granted, diminishing the value of your presence. The key is to maintain balance. Support her when needed, but don't let her challenges dictate your life. Pursue your passions, hold firm to your boundaries, and ensure your own needs are met alongside hers. A relationship built on mutual respect and understanding, rather than one-sided sacrifice, fosters genuine connection. When you show her that you're confident, self-reliant, and committed to your own growth, you naturally cultivate an attraction rooted in admiration and equality. Number 10. If a woman frequently turns to you with her problems, yet never shows any romantic interest, it's likely she sees you strictly as a friend. It's a hard truth, but many men need to recognize the reality of the friend zone. Being her confidant might feel like a form of closeness, but it often lacks the romantic undertone you're hoping for. When she opens up about her challenges, it's easy to misinterpret her trust as a signal of deeper feelings. In reality, she may view you as a reliable friend, someone she feels safe leaning on without considering a romantic connection. You might find yourself in a position where you're her go-to person during tough times, offering advice and support, yet never progressing beyond the role of a platonic ally. Many men mistakenly believe that providing unwavering emotional support will eventually lead to romantic feelings. However, emotional closeness doesn't always translate to attraction. Women often confide in those they trust, and trust doesn't always equate to desire. If there's no romantic energy or indication of interest from her, it's crucial to reassess your role in her life. This doesn't diminish your importance or the value you bring to her, but it highlights the reality. She may not see you as a romantic partner. Men often get stuck in this dynamic, hoping for her to change her perspective. Yet more often than not, she's already made up her mind. Continuing to play the role of emotional support without clear reciprocation only prolongs frustration and disappointment. It's essential to set boundaries and prioritize your own emotional well-being. If the relationship remains strictly one-sided, it might be time to shift your focus. Channel your energy into personal growth and seek connections where mutual interest and respect are present. This will not only save you time and emotional effort, but also open doors to a healthier and more fulfilling relationship. Ultimately, if her actions consistently suggest that she values you as a friend and nothing more, accept the situation for what it is. Invest your energy in someone who truly sees you as a potential partner, not just a sounding board. Self-respect and clear boundaries are key to fostering meaningful and reciprocal connections. Now is the time for a shift. Take action, commit to letting go of limiting habits, and strive to become the best version of yourself, no matter the obstacles you face. If today's conversation resonated with you, I invite you to show your appreciation by liking this video, joining our community by subscribing, and sharing your insights in the comments. Let's continue nurturing this dialogue, cultivating a community committed to self-reflection and growth. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, stay present, stay resilient, and embrace the Stoic mindset.